Wolverine and Deadpool are two Marvel characters that are as flawed as they are powerful. Maybe this is why these two heroes, or anti-heroes, in particular have so much appeal among audiences. Still, Wade Wilson and Logan have so much in common that it's hard to distinguish which one would beat the other. To avoid falling into bias and prejudice, let's analyze their weapons, powers, and skills to determine who is the better mutant. One similarity between Wolverine and Deadpool is that they both have regenerative healing, and this makes either one practically immortal. They were both part of the infamous Weapons X program, which gave them both their superhuman healing. The difference is that Wolverine was a mutant heading into the program, while Wade was just an assassin with cancer. When Wolverine's healing factor gene was isolated and administered to Wade, it made all his cells unkillable, even the cancerous ones. This results in an everlasting battle in his body where the cancer cells keep regenerating after healthy cells kill them off. This is a slight inconvenience for the Merc with the mouth because, while it takes him a few days to recover from major injuries, it takes Wolverine only a couple of hours. Additionally, Wolverine has adamantium administered directly into his skeleton, making him even more resilient and invulnerable. Adamantium is so strong that his body is nearly impenetrable, and his claws can cut through just about anything. This point goes to Wolverine. Wolverine's primary weapons are his adamantium claws that are embedded in his skeleton. The claws can cut through anything, including the Hulk's impenetrable skin. While he is, on occasion, seen using other weapons like firearms, his claws make up the bulk of his armory. He is an adept hand-to-hand combatant and a master tactician. Seeing his way through many wars has given him valuable skills in areas such as artillery and guerrilla warfare. Compare this to Deadpool. He was a skilled soldier, mercenary, and assassin, and had mastered the use of blades, firearms, and explosives long before he was ever sent to the Weapons X program. He will usually rely on traditional weapons like swords, pistols, knives, and bombs just to get the job done. In this respect, we might consider giving the point to Logan because his adamantium claws are indestructible after all. And since his claws are a part of his body, he has potential to use them anywhere and anytime. Wade's arsenal is more erratic. His swords can snap and his guns can run out of ammo. Problems that Wolverine won't have to contend with. But there is one thing here that can tip the scales in Deadpool's favor. You see, Deadpool has a sword that can not only harm Wolverine, but can kill him for good. If Wade decides to pull out his carbonadium sword, it's good night Vienna for Wolverine. The material of the sword is such that it can disrupt the healing factor, and the wounds inflicted by it are permanent. Now I know, we haven't seen this in the main Marvel Universe continuity yet, but assuming it exists, this point goes to Wade. Deadpool is as crazy as it gets. His constantly cracking jokes and breaking the fourth wall put him at a disadvantage in combat. But the opposite is also true. Because of Deadpool's inherent insanity, the guy is impossible to predict. Even Taskmaster, a villain that beats heroes by mimicking their fighting style, cannot keep up with Deadpool because you never know what he's going to pull. His unpredictability also makes it difficult to get a hold of him telepathically. His insanity also gives him sheer power of will to go to lengths that he would otherwise not go to. And so, while his spontaneity might seem helpful, it is confined to only a handful of particular cases and can't be credited as being a superpower. Being crazy can't be considered an advantage here, per se. Wolverine, on the other hand, is pretty calm and collected. He can discipline himself, and with his background in military training, it can be safe to assume that he has a lot of focus. But that doesn't make him immune to his emotions. He does give in to rage sometimes, which can cloud his judgment, but for the most part, he can keep a cool head. He even beats out opponents that are bigger and more powerful than he is, using just a bit of planning. In fact, that's how he beats Deadpool in the comics. So while Deadpool's unpredictability is advantageous, it doesn't hold up against Wolverine's strategist mind. This point goes to Wolverine. While Wolverine does have regenerative healing, he is not immortal. He ages, but ever so slowly. This was highlighted in the Logan, and I'm not going to assume how his aging affects his performance in a fight, because from what I can tell, he is just as ruthless an older man as he was when he first started out. He might have regenerative healing, but he won't have the same performance and reflexes in his older years, because cognition is, to some degree, independent of metabolism. Deadpool, on the other hand, is actually immortal. I'm basing this off a comic book storyline and not something that was addressed in the movies. Wade had a relationship with death, as weird as that may sound. Thanos also had affection for death and so, out of spite, cursed Deadpool with immortality, so that he and death could never be together. Weird, I know, but the idea is that Deadpool is immortal in every sense of the word. You can incinerate him and turn his body to literal ash, and he would still regenerate. This gives the point to Deadpool. The Weapons X program had given Wade superhuman strength, speed, and reflexes. He has formal training in almost every fighting style and can yield any weapon. Pair that up with his years of training and experience, and you're basically looking at Batman if he were immortal. Wolverine was also a product of the Weapons X program, but let's not forget that he was a mutant before that too. He was a soldier, just like Wade, and is also familiar with a variety of fighting styles. But he has mastered the use of adamantium claws, so unlike Deadpool, he doesn't need much else. He also has animal-like instincts, which give him intuition and senses that Deadpool can't rival. Since both of their powers and skills seem on par with each other's, let's call it a draw. So since we are at an impasse with both Wade and Logan at a tie, let's analyze their fights from the movies and comics to see who would really come out on top. Deadpool and Wolverine have gone head-to-head in the comics several times before, and it all ends up the same way, with Wolverine overpowering the Deadpool. Though he doesn't kill him, he does incapacitate him, and since Deadpool is immortal, that counts as him winning the fight. Even in the movies, namely X-Men Origin, Wolverine gets the best of him. Even when Wade is modified and enhanced to take out the X-Men, Wolverine manages to take him down. So, the decisive winner of this battle would be Wolverine. That's it for this one, guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching.